Today we're going to be talking about the sustainability of these Ethereum gas tokens, or sustainability of gas farming as it's beginning to be called, which is probably an appropriate term. We're going to be talking about the Ethanol Token. We'll be talking about the UniDexGas Token, which are the two tokens right now on the market, with the third coming out soon. Stay tuned for this channel to stay up to date on what's going on with these gas farming tokens. We're going to be talking about sustainability in this video. We're also going to be addressing this article right here that came out on Medium. Gas farming has nothing to do with farts, but it does smell bad for Ethereum. It's just written 15 hours ago. We're going to be talking about this article as well. So first, let's talk about sustainability. So just a quick recap. How do these gas tokens work? Well, you buy the gas token, go down in the description, click on the Linktree link, go down, click on, if you want the UniDexGas Token or the Ethanol gas token, either one, you click Unidex, click app, launch app, connect a wallet. Once you're connected to the wallet, you're at the dashboard or the whatever they call it. So then, and Ethanol works very similar. Come down here, click Ethanol, put in your wallet address, click register. Once you do that, you'll be at the Ethanol dashboard. Once you're connected to the dashboard, go to Uniswap, uniswap.org, click launch app. Once you're in here, you'll need to select token. You will need to enter in the token address. I'll put it in the description. To get the, you have to add Enol yourself and UNDG. Just copy in the token address. Once you do that, you'll be able to pull it up. I already have it added, and then you can purchase it. How many ETH do you want to put in? Purchase that, and you'll be good to go. Now, once you have the token, all you have to do is transact like you normally would with your MetaMask wallet. You're going to pay gas fees. You will get 90% rewarded back to you with the UniDexGas Token, 90% with the Ethanol gas token. And that's how it works. How do you get the 90% back? They give you right here. I got a small gas fee right here of $3.45. I got, at the time of the transaction, I got 0.0068 UNDG. That was the equivalent of $3.45. Now, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, this moves over here to unclaimed cash back, and I can choose to claim it. The button's red when you don't have a claim you can make. Right now it's green because I could claim this if I wanted, but I'll just hold off on it for now. Once you claim, you don't pay gas fees for that claim. So with that being said, and both tokens work similarly, this one pays you 2%. You get 2% of what you're currently holding. The USD value, so right now 2% of my total holdings value is $35.84. I get that in cash back every single time that I transact with Ethereum throughout the day. I get $35.84 per day. 2%. With Ethanol, it's 2.5% of my value. So I have a total value of 4.15 Ethanol tokens. That total value is $18.85. I get $45 per day. They only pay out every other day. That's one of the differences I've previously covered in my last video. But you get paid 2.5% per day with Ethanol tokens. Again, you get this cash back just for holding the tokens in your wallet. The limit is 2.5% for Ethanol of your total token balance. 2.5% a day is what you get reimbursed. Unidex is 2% per day. It's 90% cash back because whenever you claim a cash back, you pay a 10% fee. Also, whenever you buy, there's a 4% fee. Why are the fees important? It goes directly to sustainability. So how are they paying these? How are they paying these rewards? Are they printing more tokens? What's happening? Both of these tokens are non-inflationary tokens. That means that there's no new tokens created in order for them to pay you the tokens as cash back. So how do they get the cash back? It's from the fees. So when you buy the tokens, you pay a 4% fee. You get 4% less than what you think you're going to get when you buy the tokens. That 4% transaction fee goes towards the rewards pool via the smart contract. This is all done automatically via the smart contract. Whenever you claim a cash back, you pay a 10% fee. That 10% fee either goes to the person who referred you, or it goes to the rewards pool if you don't have a referral. So if you click on the link in the description, that 10% fee, that cashback fee, goes to me. You're supporting this channel. I appreciate it. If you don't have a referral, then that 10% fee just goes towards a rewards pool. So the question is, how long can this last? Well, the token itself can last indefinitely as long as the rewards pool never runs dry. It really depends on the amount of transactions that take place. And you'll see people in Telegram say, well, what if everybody just holds their tokens? They get that 2% a day for 50 days. They get 100% of their tokens back. What if everybody did that? What would eventually happen to the reward pool? Well, if that happened, the reward pool may empty out. However, that would also mean that they're decreasing the supply. That would also mean that if someone else is trying to buy on Uniswap, the prices could be going up on Uniswap a lot faster. That would also mean that people may decide to start selling to get the prices back down. That would also mean that other people would be buying, which would be creating fees. Also, people would be claiming their cash back every day. They're not just going to hold it and never claim. So there's a lot of variables there. The UniDexGas, I think they've kind of figured this out a little bit more than Ethanol, to be honest with you. UniDexGas, they've actually, it looks like they've ran some scenarios. They kind of ran the math on this. Right, here's an example of the rewards pool. They have 3,500 tokens originally locked in the reward fund. And so they have these different scenarios, like what if 1,000 tokens were bought? What if 500 tokens were sold? What would the fee be? This doesn't even include the 10% cashback fee going to the reward pool. What would the fee be in the reward pool? And how much is in the wallets? And they come down here and they show you like holders spent 0.5% on average, meaning if they spent 0.5% of their 2% a day, if on average, if that's what everybody spent, then it would actually increase the amount going in the reward pool. If all of the holders averaged 1%, then it would increase the amount here, increase the amount. This a little bit would lose if they bought 500 tokens and sold, because you only paid a fee on buying. So if there was less bought and more sold, then in that case, the fee would, there would be a small 0.7% loss on the reward fund. And that's assuming that all the holders spend at least 1.5% that day. If all the holders spent 2% on average, then the pool would drain a little bit. And that's assuming, these amount of buys and sells. So if everybody is spending their maximum amount, then it would drain the reward pool. Ultimately, it would drain the reward pool. Now, they say this is unrealistic. I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Ethanol is actually more aggressive with their reward pool. Ethanol actually, what these guys do is they give, well, actually, here it is. You get 2.5% per day, which is more. So to me, that stresses the reward pool a little bit more. Plus, if you hold bigger holders to get 3% or 3.5% back on a transaction or 4% back on a transaction. See, these numbers stress the reward pool a little bit more. One theory is, does this cause people to buy more Enol? And if it does, would that raise the price? And if it raises the price, would it cause other people to sell the Enol? See, there's the thing that you can't really figure out is the free market. People buying and selling, because as long as people are buying and selling the token, fees are being created, the reward pool is being refilled. If people stop buying and selling the token, then at some point the reward pool starts getting drained in some way. If people totally stop buying and selling the token, but they're not going to just stop buying and selling the token. However, I think Ethanol or Enol, in my opinion, I think they stretch their reward pool's capability a lot more. Let me come over here. The thing with USDG sustainability, how long can they last? They could last indefinitely because they've already publicly said that they can adjust this number. So if they need to move this number to 5%, it changes all this. All this is probably positive if they move this to 5% fee. If they need to move it to 6%, they can do that. They can adjust it. In fact, one of the things I've talked about that I don't like about the UniDexGas is I've tried to interact with their devs. Their devs are not responsive. I've asked, what are the parameters that you can change? What can you not change? What is fully decentralized? What is, in the contract? What is not? And they haven't answered that question, which does frustrate me a little bit. And I feel like it adds a little bit of risk to the project. But as long as they can adjust this fee, I don't see how this one token cannot be sustainable indefinitely. Because listen, I mean, even going to a 10% fee if you had to temporarily, I think it makes it sustainable. You're still getting 90% cash back and you don't have to buy every day. You only have to buy a certain amount of tokens. So, I think it can be sustainable for a long time. if not indefinitely. I mean, as long as there's market moves and ups and downs, it could, because here's the thing. How many people are going to spend that 2% a day? What percentage are going to, holders would have to, all holders, 100% of holders would have to spend 2% a day. That's just not going to happen for it to go down this much. All holders would have to average 1.5% a day. How many people hold Ethereum but don't even transact in it every day? So their rewards pool, it's going to be interesting. It doesn't mean that it cannot be drained, but they clearly have kind of run some numbers and some tests on what they thought would happen. So we'll have to wait and see long term. But theoretically, if they can change the fee, if they can change that 4% fee to 5% fee to 6% fee, my opinion, not financial advice. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not a financial advisor. My opinion, the actual token should be able to last for a long time. In Ethanol, I'm not sure. I'm a little less sure about Ethanol. That's what I'll say about them. Again, both tokens are non-inflationary. There's only 10,000 token supply. The fees feed the reward pool. The reward pool is how you get your cash back. There has to be fees, and there has to be enough fees taking place that people are able to get their cash back. That's pretty much it at the end of the day. My concern is that at some point, does the market level off? If I have a concern, is that you don't get a lot of buys, you don't get a lot of sales, because it just becomes strictly based on utility. People aren't speculating on price. Believe it or not, even with the 4% buy fee, people are speculating on price on this thing, and people are trying to swing trade it. As long as that's happening, the reward pool is going to stay full, period, because they're trying to swing trade it. They're not using it for its utility. But if 80% or 70% of people, 75% of people use this token primarily for its utility, would the reward pool ultimately, slowly over time drain? I don't know. It's really hard to say. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure, because even these decreases just aren't a lot. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens with that. But I just feel like, 75%, I feel like this should be sustainable for a long time. And if there's a dev or someone want to speak up to this in the comments, please do so. Again, Ethanol stresses their reward pool a bit more, so I'm not as confident about Ethanol. With that being said, I want to address this article here. What is gas farming? So this is a little bit of a different dynamic. This is like, okay, so if there's UniDex token and there's Ethanol token and there's another token coming out and there's another token coming out, there's like 5 tokens out. If everybody's using these tokens, what ultimately happens? Let's go through this article, because a lot of people have this question. Gas farming has nothing to do with farts, but it does smell bad for Ethereum. A gas farming bubble is coming. It's not yet started. In fact, it is probably months away from ever appearing on the radar of the wider crypto community, but it is coming. I agree with that. Here we discuss how the tokenomics around some new projects point towards the inevitable, and why gas fees will become higher than we could ever imagine. Ethereum transaction fees are the biggest thorn in the side for DeFi space, 100%. Many transactions are simply not worth spending the gas on, and this is killing innovative projects where non-profitable transactions deem contract interaction financially unviable. Yes, solutions are on the way, and we see a tangible future approaching where these issues are mostly solved. In such a fast-paced industry, however, innovation waits for nothing. Blockchain developers are finding solutions that we can use right now, but are these solutions sustainable? So we're going to go into that. I want to mention this real quick as well. The article says solutions are on the way. We see a tangible future approaching where these issues are mostly solved. So some people say, what about Ethereum 2.0? How will that affect this space? Ethereum 2.0, the whole goal of Ethereum 2.0 ultimately is to cause transactions to be faster and cheaper. But what is the reason we want transactions faster and cheaper? So more people will use Ethereum and more people will come in this space. That means that individually you may need to own less gas tokens to cover your gas fees. However, there's going to be more people wanting to buy the tokens if there's more people using Ethereum. So I think Ethereum 2.0, if these tokens are still around when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, I think that we'll see maybe a short-term price drop. But if more people come into the space, there's only 10,000 tokens to go around. If more people comes into the space, I think there's more people buying the tokens. Again, there's a lot of variables, like who's going to be the token that's going to be the leader in this space? Is there going to be one that people are going to go to, that's going to be the one that most people go to? Is there going to be one who manages a reward pool properly and maybe the others are aggressive and they're not able to, they try to compete, so they try to get aggressive, and then when they get aggressive, it just doesn't work for them. The rewards pool runs dry or something like that. we'll have to wait and see what happens in this space. But overall, I think we may see the price pull back on gas tokens, but ultimately it should go back up because, again, people are still going to want to be, even if your gas fees are cheaper, even if you're paying $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 for a gas transaction, don't you still want to get 90% of that transaction back? Of course you do. Band-Aid solutions. UniDexGas Token. Last year, we saw UniDex introduce the UniDexGas Token. Innovative? Yes. But at its core, it's essentially an exploit of a mechanism on the Ethereum network that exists to incentivize developers to clean up, destroy unused contracts. Not exactly good for the network, but does provide some relief to users while we wait for ETH 2.0 and other solutions to mature. Ethanol Token. More recently, we've seen some new and innovative Band-Aid solutions that aim to solve the issue for now. But these are potentially a lot more damaging to the network than the UniDexGas token. Ethereum users can definitely benefit greatly in the short term, but these solutions are simply not going to be sustainable. In late November 2020, we saw the launch of Ethanol Token, a smart contract that offers holders USD equivalent cash back on their Ethereum transaction fees. Ethanol rewards you with up to 100% of your gas spent on each transaction forever in Ethanol tokens. Up to 100% minus the 10% claim fee, so it's still 90%. UniDexGas Token. UniDex contract was launched on January 21st by the team who developed UniDex Bot, a tool for high-volume traders to automate trading of percentage-based buy and sell cycles and more. High transaction fees, however, significantly reduce the opportunities on small percentage price swings. Hence the development of the UniDexGas project, which copied the concept employed by the Ethanol project but improved upon the tokenomics. The Ethanol team has since revised their tokenomics, and now both projects are very similar. If you haven't seen my video comparing the two projects, I encourage you to go watch that video now. It was the last video that I put out. What is gas farming? As of right now, if you were to hold both Ethanol and UniDexGas tokens, it is possible to earn back more than you spend on transaction fees, incentivizing you to make pointless transactions with high fees applied. At the end of each day, claim all your fees back in both Ethanol and UniDexGas. Rinse and repeat, and this will be gas farming. If we only had one project that offers a rebate on gas fees, this could be sustainable, at least for a while. However, if you know the crypto space, then you would know that when something works, others will either want to do it better or simply make cheaper clones and more clones and more clones. Where there are gains to make, there's little regard for the consequences. How the gas farming bubble will happen. In a scramble to avoid the rising gas fees, Ethereum users are going to have little choice. Either be sucked in the gas rebate vortex or be excluded from the network due to the insane fees. I agree with this. You're forced to either participate or sit on the sidelines. Like, literally. If you don't own gas tokens, you're just going to pay really high fees eventually. Or you're going to make money from the high fees that you pay by owning the tokens. It really is a bit of a vortex. So here's this diagram. Now here's where this entire argument kind of collapses. Higher gas fees. More users adopting the rebate programs. Yes, because you get sucked in. You almost need to own a gas token to transact. You own two of them and you've got profitable transactions. On this side, rebate gas token price inflation, exposure to gas farming. Okay. If you own the tokens, you have exposure to gas farming. That's correct. Which will lead to higher gas fees. That's correct. Clone rebate project launches and adoption. Yep. Higher gas fees. Yes. Higher rewards for spending gas. Yes. Higher gas fees. Yes. All that is true. More users. Yes. This is where it all falls apart. Rebate token price inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful what you read. Be careful what's put out there in print. Up until now, this entire article was highly credible. This is where the whole point of the argument falls apart. Remember what I told you? Both of these tokens are non-inflationary. This is where the writer literally does not understand the tokenomics. They wrote an entire article without reading the white paper. And maybe they rushed the article because they're like, look, there's a lot of people are looking for this. I want to get content out there. And I get that, by the way. I've made that same mistake in some of my videos. 100% have had to reshoot videos. I've even had developers explain their tokenomics inaccurately. That happened with me on the base protocol. I don't think it was on purpose, but a full-on explanation was given and it was wrong. And right here, this is just wrong. He says the rebate token price is going to inflate, less tokens needed to reclaim gas because he's saying that there's That doesn't even make sense. Early adopters, massive profit. This is true. As people come in, more people are going to buy these tokens. There is a potential for massive profit. No question there's a potential for massive profit, not only from your gas, but from the appreciation of the gas token. Eventually, sell-offs and collapse. The problem with the sell-off and collapse, he's assuming that the tokens somehow lose value. That doesn't even make sense. It's going to go up not because of inflation, because of increased demand. That's not inflation. Then, yes, maybe early adopters will sell, but then are people still paying gas fees or not? See, it can't sell off but so far. At some point, people want their gas fees covered. So this is where I do agree we may see a collapse in price, especially as early people sell out, but ideally they're going to be selling out at some point to other buyers. It's not going to collapse to zero. The token has a use case. All the tokens have a use case. The problem is they have the exact same use case. This is going to clog up the Ethereum network, no question about it. It's going to lead to people making needless transactions to collect gas profits, no question about it. No question about it. So what does it ultimately mean? It says imagine bots creating hundreds of expensive transactions a day and then claiming 10 times that back in gas rebates for numerous projects, similar to Ethanol and UNDG. This is true, but they're going to have to buy up these tokens on some scale. One of these tokens, if not several of them, are going to get bought up quite a bit, most likely. So token price is going up. You're going to be able to make a lot of profit when you by owning both tokens or all three tokens or all four tokens, however many come along. So it's going to clog up the Ethereum network. What happens? This is going to be Ethereum's pandemic. They're going to have to create a vaccine probably. And I don't know what that's going to be. Here's what I know for certain. One or several of these gas tokens go up. Gas fees go up, which again, you make more money when gas fees go up. It's going to clog up the Ethereum network for sure. Do I see a collapse of the entire thing? I don't know how that happens. Let me know down in the comments. How can the whole thing, like from a tokenomics standpoint, explain it? How can it collapse? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I do agree, and let me know if you disagree with me. I do think Ethereum gas fees are going way up. I do think there will be more projects. The question is how many? At some point, people will just stop buying into some of them, and that will prevent new competitors. But how many more? I think the competitor that's going to last, because I don't think this is going to disappear. I think the one that can run the smoothest, that can maintain the rewards pool, is going to last the longest. Right now, for me, at this moment, I think it's UniDex. I mean, I feel like I'm 60-40, maybe 55-45 UniDex on that one versus Ethanol. But there may be another competitor come along, and that's better than both of them. We'll have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, smash that like button. Nothing in here should be seen as investment advice. Stay tuned for my next video. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.